Hello, thank you again for joining us for our Brain Booster this week on SAP Business One Project Management. My name is Shannon Kennedy, and I am a Customer Success Manager here at VistaView Solutions. And I'll be showing you a very brief overview of SAP Business One's Project Management module, which allows you to manage all of your projects from start to finish in a centralized location. This is including your stages in your project, your production orders in one linked to a project, utilizing external and internal projects. It will allow you to also keep track of tasks within a project, activities, and open issues that may arise within a project and allow you to assign someone to help resolve or just simply help manage that part of the project. Thanks again for joining us, and let's get started. Hi everyone, thanks again for joining us for our Brain Booster. My name is Shannon Kennedy, and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at VistaView Solutions. This week's Brain Booster will be a brief overview of SAP Business One's project management. First things first, we're going to go into our admin menu, and we're going to make sure that our company is enabled to actually utilize project management. This can be found in your System Initialization, your Company Details, Basic Initialization tab. If we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we have an available checkbox to enable project management. As you can see in my demo system, this has already been enabled, and I've already entered projects. That means that it's been grayed out, as it can no longer be changed once I've already entered projects into the system. So be sure before doing anything in your live or production database, you've talked to your SAP Business One partner, and you've tested in your test database first. Now that we know that our project management is enabled, let's take a look at our project options inside of SAP Business One. So if we go into our setup option, also located underneath our admin menu, let's go into our project management and take a look at our stages. These are some stages that are predefined in SAP Business One when utilizing project management. These can be updated, including changing their names, or you can simply add new options into your stages as well to utilize for your projects. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to your project management team and your SAP Business One partner, and they can explain a little bit more about this process. Once we have our initialized stages here, that's what we're going to use when we're entering in our projects. Next, we need to check our financial projects options. The reason that we're also looking at our financial projects is because if we ever have a project that utilizes information regarding, say, a production order, we would select the financial project associated to that production order, within that production order, and then we'd be able to select that production order on our project management so that it would take all of those costs into account when creating and completing that project. To look at that, we're simply going to go into our financial options, still in our setup menu. We're going to take a look at our projects here, and here we see our list of entered projects for financial project management. You can create as many or as little as you'd like, and you can also select a valid from and valid to date. For what we're doing today, we're going to enter in and link a production order to one of our projects using an assembly type. So I've confirmed here that our valid to date is to the end of this year, so we should have no issues utilizing that option. Now that we've confirmed that information, let's go into our project management here and take a look at one of our projects. You can create projects inside of SAP Business One's project management for internal as well as external projects. This is a very good option for if you have something internally going on that you want to keep track of, you want to assign users to specific tasks or open issues, you can utilize this inside of SAP Business One. You can also link activities to it as well, and you're simply internally tracking the project and its completion. Using it externally will allow you to connect it to a customer, a production order, as well as SAP Business One marketing documents like your AR and your AP documents. Here we have a project that we've entered, and we've associated this to our customer AVIT. So I've named subsequently AVIT Project 1. I've also linked our financial project to our assembly like I mentioned earlier here. Now, first we're going to take a look at our overview. Our Overview tab allows you to enter in some basic information regarding the risks of this specific project, the industry it's related to, comments, and this is where you'd assign subprojects if you have a project within your project. You'd simply select your option here, and then this would allow you to add subprojects via the subproject tab that is now visible. For our basic overview, we're not going to be adding in our subprojects. I'm going to select my risk, which is low. It's for the construction industry. And now we'll move on to my stages. As we mentioned before, you can use the standard SAP Business One stages, or if you've added additional stages, you'd be able to select them here by simply clicking on the row. You'd be able to enter in your date information for your start date and your due date. This is where you'd also enter your finish date and the stage that is associated with. As you can see here, I have 3 stages to this project. I have my conception and installation, which is my installation on site, my launching and execution, which is my monitoring and execution on site, and finally, my conception and initialization, which includes my testing and completing of this project. Once you've entered in finished information, the information pertaining to these stages can move on to the next stage if they're dependent upon one another, or you can have planned cost calculations that will occur on your summary tab here. If I scroll over just a bit further, you'll see that I have an option for planned costs here for each stage. You have the option to select finished once it's finished, and assign an owner who would be associated specifically with that tab and that task. And you have the option to select a stage dependency. This is a good idea if you want to ensure that one stage is finished before another one is started. So here I have my initial stage, and then I have my stage 2 and stage 3 dependent upon one another and their completion. On the bottom of my screen here, you see that we're able to update open issues by adding in open issue information, as well as assigning that open issue to a selected individual on your team. You also have the option to add attachments. You can attach a specific document from inside SAP Business One, or you can simply attach a document as long as it's been saved to a shared location within your system. And by that, you can just use your Browse button here to select it from your desktop and attach it into your project. Your documents will actually allow you to select documents inside of SAP Business One to link directly to your project here. What that allows you to do is select quotes, orders, AR invoices, all in relation to your SAP Business One project, which again will update all of your summary information with the financials related to those documents and your project. Like I mentioned before, you can also add an activity and link an activity directly to your project within SAP Business One to track activities related to your project internally as well as externally. Now, we're going to select a production order to link to our project here. So, first things first, I want to make sure that I've entered in my finish date here. And I'm going to update that to today. I'm also going to update my due date so that the system knows that my due date and my finish date match one another. The reason I'm doing that is because, as you can see, I'm getting a red bar error because my dates don't match inside of my due date and my finish date. So I'm simply updating my dates to make sure that my project updates, and I'm going to select a production order to link to this, which will also link in and need to be updated based upon the stages in your production order as they're completed as well. Now that my search button is available here, I'm simply going to open up my option here, and I'm going to select my production order, and it's going to link my production order and all the subsequent items within that production order directly to my project. Now I'm going to click Update to save. Now, as my project is moving along, I'm going to obviously update some of the information pertaining to my next stages. First, let's take a look at our 2 other tabs. Our Remarks tab is a general field that allows you to type in any information pertaining to this project. If you have additional information that you need your team to know, maybe someone at your customer is the specific contact. Maybe you want to enter that here because you haven't entered in your project code here, your business partner code, rather. However, if you do want to make sure that this project specifically is not just related to documents inside SAP and a production order, you can also feel free to link it directly to your customer here. That will make this project even more trackable through the system in relation to the customer that it's related to, which is also related to your production order. You can update the contact here as well. However, if I were to leave that blank, I can simply add in remarks as needed. Attachments will allow you to see and attach additional information as well, pertaining to the entire project, not necessarily a line. I'm going to click Update now that I've updated my project. And now let's take a look at our summary. Our summary is going to have all of the information pertaining to the cost to our project in a summary tab, which will also show on our project management reporting. So let's update our project cost. I'll update my project cost for each of those, and each of these is going to be a % of our project. Now let's update. I'm going to drill into my production order, and this will allow you to see your production order in process as well, and this is going to allow you to also work with that production order as it flows through the production and as it's linked to your project. Once everything is completed on my project, I'm going to update all of my information manually here, just for the sake of our demonstration. Again, I'm going to see an error because my date is not equal to or the same as my production, which really just means I'm running early. You can change your due date here, or you can change your finish date here. And update. Now if I scroll back over, I should have my planned costs here, my invoiced, open AR, invoiced amount AP, and open AP will show if I have documents related to this project inside of SAP Business One. So if I simply select a line within my project, I can select an AR invoice from our system here. If I know the document, I can simply type it in. If I don't, I can use my search button to search for any of my AR invoices related to my customer. I'm going to scroll through, and I'll find my Avett Brothers open AR invoices. If I choose that, it's going to automatically link that document as well as its totals to our project as well. Now I will click Update. I'm going to select Finished on all of my lines within our project so that all of my lines will finish out and complete. I can select myself as the owner, or if someone else worked on a specific stage of the project, they can select themselves as the owner as well. I'm going to click Update again to save all my changes. And now if we take a look at our Summary tab, because we've finished our project and I've linked some AR information, you'll see that I have some budget information, some profit values, and my closing information has been updated as well. This will also be a good indicator if you're running behind on a project, as in your date completed is not the same as your due date. It will actually show you a day's overdue as well. So before we go into some reporting on project management, you do have a nice option to create a Gantt chart directly from your project management screen here, utilizing your right-click option. We can click Gantt, and it will show us information relating to our project in a Gantt chart. This is extremely helpful if you have a large project with a lot of stages, and it makes it a little bit more visually appealing to look at your project as it's in process. Now, if I right-click again, you will be able to go through a few different things as well. You can go directly to your trial balance, profit and loss statement, project overview, timesheet report if you're utilizing time entry within SAP Business One and inside your production. You can look up your billing document wizard, which will allow you to directly bill from a project utilizing your document wizard. So if I select on that option here, it's going to open up our document generation wizard and allow us to create a delivery or an invoice on the AP or AR side in order to bill this because it's linked to my financial project that we mentioned earlier. We can also take a look at our distribution report, which will show distribution information related to specific dimensions inside of SAP Business One. Because this is a brief overview, we're not going to go in depth into all of these options, but feel free to reach out to us at VistaView Solution to review a little bit more information about project management. Last but not least, let's take a look at our project management report. If I am inside my project management option inside my menu here, I have a stage analysis, an open issues report, resources report, and that timesheet report that we saw via our right click as well. So, first thing I'm going to do is open up our stage analysis. This is going to give us a specific report by date for all of the stages within our projects in SAP Business One. So, I'm going to select most of April here as my start date, and I'm going to match that to my closing date as well so I can make sure that I get all of those dates and all of those stages within those dates on my report. Now you can select by project code, employee code, BP, all for these reporting. So I'm going to select the BP, and I'm going to select my Avett Brothers so I can see all of my projects related to my Avett Brothers. Click OK. Now it's utilizing my business partner. You can also utilize your project stage if you'd like to see only some stages, say your installation stages. Maybe you want to analyze how long it's taking all of your project's installation stages to complete so that you can better estimate when a project is completed internally and externally. Specifically externally, because you always want to make sure that you're giving your customer the best date possible for the completion of their project. We want to see all of my stages. So I'll simply select all of those options. It will automatically check off my project stage. Our next reporting option is our open issues, which allows us to select a lot of the same information, and this will give us an overview on all open issues related to our projects. This is great for managing projects at the customer and assigning them to a specific resource who can then update the project as it goes. And myself, as a customer success manager, can simply run this report and I can see updates on all of those open issues to review with my customers. So thank you again for joining us for our brief overview of project management. And this certainly did not include everything that you're capable of doing utilizing SAP Business One's project management. So please feel free to reach out to us or your SAP Business One partner if you think that project management inside SAP Business One will work for you and your team. We'll gladly answer any questions that you might have and give you a much more in-depth overview. Thanks again.